Hello, my friends. It is I, Rob, here at the Lair of OmnusI. Another caffeinated beverage. And, need to chat, so let's get to it. The final mini quest has been shot. Production should be very quick because it didn't end very well. My dice luck for Dirk was terrible throughout. And, quite honestly, that is an example of what can happen when the dice go against you. Sometimes you get a bad ending, no matter how little you want it. And we tried to make Dirk an interesting character to give people different ways around just pulling out the sword and attacking. But this character really wasn't set up for a dungeon crawl. The encounters were not really designed with dungeon crawling in mind. I had more riddles and things planned, but that's all right. In the end, it's not a great ending, but it gets us out, and mini quest will then be over. So now that we're done with the RPG a day, and we're done with mini quest, we can go back to working on all the other projects that I wanted to do. So primarily, my intentions are start off big with a new Lair of OmnusI, proper Lair of OmnusI. Then I would like to do another Dungeons and Darkness, a crossover video for Dungeons and Dragons and Massive Darkness, which should again be fairly easy. Combination of giving content from my own ideas and designs on how to cross the games over with what game design principles and elements that you can suss out from the two games and figuring out how to cross them over. So all in all, should be a pretty easy video to do, although again we're going to try to uphold some a little bit higher standards in terms of shooting and everything like this. For example, split audio. I'll be recording the audio tracks separately on a better microphone, hopefully get a purer audio sound so you don't have to hear the idiots with their loud cars outside and things like that. That's been something I've wanted to do for a while, but now I've got the microphone, the computer, everything ready to go, so we can do that whenever we make videos, which should be good. So looking forward to that. It's a bit more work, but it's worth it in the end. The audio product is simply very superior. I do like my camcorder, and the audio in it is fairly good, but it's got this little squeak. If I could only not have that squeak, something moving in there, it makes that cricket chirping sound. Maybe I'm the only one who can hear it, but still, when I record on the other microphone, I don't get that, so we'll be using that for better audio. I am going to be designing a new intro video for the channel. I would very much like to refresh the whole YouTube channel so that people coming onto the site are, would be a little bit more positively hit by what I have to offer. So we're going to try that, and I think that'll be my next big project, is the overhaul. We'll also work on sorting out the videos into the different channels a little bit better and more efficiently, maybe making a couple more channels for the people who only want to see the RPG a day videos from 2017, or only want to see the state of the dungeon videos, so I'll have those completely out of the Lair of OmnusI videos and things. All in all, it should be a positive thing for people who are using the site and looking for things that they care about. Looking for a new Ask the Wizard video. Been a while since I've done one of those, so if you have any kind of a question what you would ask a living, breathing wizard, please feel free to either include it in a comment here, or you can send it directly to my site. It is OmnusI, OMNUSI, at att.net. That is my OmnusI channel. So if you have a question, you want to give me the courtesy of a little extra content to make a new video to entertain you, whatever you want. If you want to make something silly, if you want to make something serious, if you're having problems with a role-playing game, for instance, and you want a bit of advice from the inside, I can do any of that, so feel free. Also, I am going to be rotating. I'm going to go shoot for 2 big videos every week. One of those videos will be something like a Lair of OmnusI or class warfare. I have to do more of those, of course. There's plenty more classes left to cover. And those videos generally take a bit more production, a little bit more, planning, writing, and things like that. Character witness videos, I'll probably do a couple of those a month too. They're quicker, easier. I shouldn't say they're quicker. Actually, they take longer depending on the game. And some of the games I'd like to do character witnesses for have rather lengthy character creation. Eventually, I even like to do Role Master for the people who've never made a Role Master character. It's pretty involved. And it won't be a short video. I'll probably have to break it up into 2 parts, but that's on my list of things to do. I know there's a lot of Role Master fans out there, so ultimately I'd like to do that. I might go back and do the Talislanta videos too, from first edition on up, so people can watch the progression and evolution of that game. It's an interesting game for sure. I don't think it'll ever be my first choice, but the world is very rich, so it might be fun to do at some point, just to give people an experience for what some of these older games were like. And the modern game is pretty good too. So it's bizarre, a little gonzo, but it's still very solid. Ultimately, I'd like to do one for GURPS, kind of a demystification. For a lot of people, all they know about GURPS is that it's a horribly complicated game with so many books that you need to get, and that's simply not true. It's really not that terribly difficult, especially if the game master knows what they're doing. So I would like to do a demystification video for a character witness for that. But yeah, other than that, I recently got a lot of miniatures. We found a bundle that was available for sale at the local thrift shop from, what was it? Hero Quest? The one with all the plastic hexes that you could stack up to make terrain, and they had lots of detailed little figures. So we bought a tote full of all of that stuff. Lots of terrain, yeah, but lots and lots of miniatures too. So got lots of characters to use. Several big dragon miniatures and other monsters. There's a fire giant in there. So yeah, some exciting stuff there. I did get Battle Masters, and I want to do, once I've been satisfied with doing a couple of the Dungeons and Darkness videos, I'm thinking of doing a Dungeon Masters video, or combined D&D and Battle Masters. I think that could be really good. I know there are people who have modified and altered Battle Masters to make a bigger game, just broader with more elements and things. That would be a relatively easy thing to do. It's a skirmish level game, which makes it a little different from a small group role-playing game or a large-scale war game. But in its own scope, it's got a lot to offer, and I think if you could fairly easily incorporate heroes and wizards and magic and all kinds of elements like that. You would have to change some things, certainly. To do it properly, you'd probably have to create a lot of new cards, but I think that could be a lot of fun. And people might be interested in that. I don't know, but it's something it's on the burner. Probably most importantly to me, though, is I talked to you a while ago about my idea for the Academy. I am almost at the point of launching, which is cool. I have some videos shot, so I'll have at least some preparational things. But I would like to know what you're interested in, what people who might go onto this site. It's a free site. Down the road I might have some advanced classes that I might charge a little bit for, but it'll never be prohibitive. But I'm curious, what kind of things are you interested in seeing and having videos for? For instance, preparation, I has it. Well, I'll be right back. Where is my notebook? Well, do. Well, this is kind of, well, it's par for the course, really. If you've put up with me, you know that I'm not the most organized person in the world, to my own detriment. But as of right now, I have a couple of videos shot for what is essentially Role-Playing 101. For people who don't know what role-playing games are, they might have seen them on, say, Stranger Things or the beginning of E.T. or something like that. Or they have a family member who's interested in role-playing, or some friends who are like, would you like to join us? And they don't know what it is. So what I did was I started off with Role-Playing 101, talking about what a role-playing game is and what it's like. What are the good things about it? What are the things to watch out for? Role-Playing 102 was what are the pillars of role-playing? What are the experiences and things that make a role-playing session up? That dovetails in with the kind of role players, most often graded into three types: your conflict combat characters, your problem-solving, story-driven characters, and then your role players. So, that was 2 videos to start with. I will continue going along and talking in role-playing games and more general things for classes. And then I'm also going to have individual class structures of the individual role-playing games themselves, as well as game mastery skills. So the first one I'm going to do is 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, having entire courses based on that. The introductory level course for that, of course, will be what is Dungeons & Dragons, specifically 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and what can you do with it? What is playing this game like? And then after that, we can break it down into, what do you need to play? What are important? What is not important? What can make the game more viable? What outlets and resources can I use to play the game? Where we'll talk about things like D&D Beyond and Roll20. And then, of course, we will get into the basics both for play and for dungeon mastering. So if anybody is curious about 5th edition yet, or if, for instance, they've played earlier editions and they've never wanted to play anything other than the game that they like, but they keep hearing about it and so many people say so many good things, they want to know what the buzz is about, I will attempt to answer that. I shouldn't say attempt. I will answer that question as objectively as I possibly can. And there are plenty of role-playing games out there. We will be doing a 101 level course for each of the role-playing games I intend to cover, and we will keep an ear out for anybody who has ideas on the games that they'd like to see covered. And then we'll do an intro-level course. We'll have the 102 course will be what's required and what's available, and then we will dig down into gameplay elements and differences, what makes this game unique and special, tips and tactics and strategies, how to play without using tips and tricks and strategies. Ultimately, in a game that has classes, we'll go over each of the classes as its own separate class, lesson. And we will probably have subclasses that are included with those. For games that are more like point-buy systems, then we'll have lessons that are going to talk about the different merits and flaws that are available, or advantages, disadvantages, skills, how the mechanic of the game works, the nuts and bolts, and how to use it, how it can be influenced and altered and tweaked. We'll talk about potentials for house ruling and how to do that and make sure balance works. Some of our higher level classes will go pretty deeply into strategy and mechanics and game theory. So I'm excited about it. In this case, this is the kind of thing that I want to have my own kind of a legacy thing. It'll be something that I have separate from Lair of OmnusI. I'm getting my own website for it. The site will have links to all of the different courses. These will be lecture type videos where it's me, a whiteboard, talking about gaming. From time to time, it may also be me at a more of a lab scenario where I have to have more hands-on, here in my basement, but different backdrop and everything as I talk about those kind of game elements. So something that I've wanted to do for a number of people. Anytime you hear people who have questions about things and want to know other people's perspectives, well, these are going to be my objective disambiguation, and I hope will come to be seen by some as the definitive way of coming to understand certain game elements, learning what makes them tick. And, if you come into a game you've never played it before, you could probably do a lot worse when I get my videos up for that game than look at my game and I'll tell you how everything works. From character creation to gameplay to conflict to resolution, and at the other end, how to run the game and how to build scenarios, build overall overarching storylines, what the worlds are like, things to bear in mind in the various games. And I'll be taking all the things that I've learned, the tips and tricks on how to make videos, and go forward with that and try to make these videos interesting and engaging and something that will really help people to learn and appreciate different perspectives in the game. So that's my intention. That's what I'm working towards, and I hope you guys continue to support me on this. I know we're small, but this is something that I really want to leave out for people, that I will be relentlessly linking to try to get people to take a look at. And I've come up with the name. I don't know if I've revealed this. The OmnusI Institute for Advanced Gamer Studies. The acronym's a little unfortunate. OIAGS. Oh well. I really kind of like the name. It's pretty much in place now. So just a few other minor details like designing my logo and the introductory video for that, and then just make lessons, cobble them together, and put them up on YouTube and link them to the site, and we'll be ready to go on that. So my hope is that by the middle of October, I will have the site up. I will have the at the very least the 101 courses for half a dozen lesson courses and a couple of the follow-up courses in as well. We're not going to have any of the 200 level courses, which are going to the more advanced studies. Just the intro stuff for now, and we'll see how people consume it. If we get a lot of interest and buzz, I will of course leave plenty of way for people to get back to me on what they think of and what they'd like to see, and I'll pursue what people are interested in. If somebody really thinks that it would be of benefit that I have a Legends of the Five Rings course load, I'll do that. Sure. I'll pick up a few books, understand the rules, and bring all that out to play. If somebody really wants a Numenera lesson plan, then yeah, I'll do it. It's not my favorite game system, but I'm doing this impartially, so I can give an objective perspective on what the game designers were trying to do, how to play through, some ideas and areas that might be particularly challenging, and some things that you can do to enrich your enjoyment of the game, but not with the level of personal impact that I usually have with my OmnusI persona, because it's still a biased, not entirely objective person. So, as much as I try to be. But my OmnusI Institute videos are going to be ones that I try to be very analytical and objective. So, I hope you guys are excited for this stuff. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and I really hope that people take and use and enjoy it. If for no other reason than to hear a grown man ramble on about a game at extreme length, which I would think would be kind of funny myself. If I didn't have the ambitions to create a school where you can learn how to throw a fireball that isn't Hogwarts. So, thanks for listening to me drone on and on about what I intend to do. As always, some of the stuff is up in the air. We'll try to, figure it all out as we go, and hopefully you stay along for the ride. So, thank you very much. Appreciate all of you, and we'll see you the next time I crawl in front of the camera, make a video, and put it up on YouTube for you, my friends, the folks who enjoy OmnusI. Thank you, and farewell.